Books presents an unabridged recording of Theodore Roosevelt, A Strenuous Life, by Kathleen Dalton, narrated by Suzanne Torrin, and directed by Mark Avila. This book is copyrighted 2002 by Kathleen Dalton. This recording is copyrighted 2004 by Recorded Books. Theodore Roosevelt made himself the hero of his own strenuous life. He transformed himself from a sickly and fearful patrician boy into a fiercely adventurous and always active hunter, sportsman, writer, politician, and finally president. But one self-making was never enough. He slowly fashioned himself into a man of the people, a defender of the poor and downtrodden, and a prophet of political ideas advanced for his day. This is the story of one man's struggle to conquer his own fears and to build a greater nation out of a divided collection of states. And now, Theodore Roosevelt, A Strenuous Life.
Introduction. Theodore Roosevelt has become one of the enduring stock characters of American culture. He is so familiar to us in his aggressive exuberance that when his distinctive spectacles, mustache, and clenched teeth appear before us in a play or television commercial, we need merely count the seconds until he utters the predictable bully. He has so often been parodied that the American Heritage Dictionary uses a cartoon of TR to illustrate the word caricature. Roosevelt draws our attention immediately, often leaving a quick impression. We see him personifying reliability in a newspaper ad for a bank, or the spirit of boyish fun in a political cartoon. Even without words, his image speaks to us. His evocative power can carry a dollar value. Recognizing that he continues to strike an emotional chord with the public, advertisers have used Roosevelt's image to promote the Bible, computer diskettes, baking powder, investment firms, and malt liquor. More than 8 decades after his death, the lasting persona of Theodore Roosevelt still can be found in millions of American homes. Teddy bears are everywhere. Products sell better when endorsed by his catchphrases, such as "Good to the last drop, Maxwell House Coffee." TR theme restaurants serve up standard American cuisine using Rooseveltian sayings and Bull Moose-era decor. These restaurants embody the same insight that the owners of Moxie Soda understood at the beginning of the 20th century. When Moxie wanted a face to represent energy and intestinal fortitude, they picked the president with the most moxie. America's affection for Theodore Roosevelt has a long history. He evoked a warm response from portions of the populace early in his political career. As a flamboyant New York State legislator and New York City police commissioner, he won a devout local following. His national reputation grew further from his writing and his role as a U.S. Civil Service Commissioner. As a doughty campaigner in the lively Brian McKinley presidential race in 1896, TR pulled in big audiences with a combination of colorful invective and lofty idealism. Then, in 1898, he exploded into the national consciousness as one of the most touted heroes of the Spanish-American War. His presidency, of course, was the high watermark of his relationship with the American people, a time when the press hung on his every political word, as well as his preachments on a great many other subjects. In his day, he became the most revered president since Abraham Lincoln. To many of his contemporaries, Roosevelt was the ideal man and statesman, both a president who grappled with modern problems and a charismatic leader who symbolized the people's highest ideals. As a third-party presidential candidate in 1912, running against the power and tradition of the two-party system, he achieved the impossible. Although he came in second to Democrat Woodrow Wilson, he beat the well-financed Republican incumbent William Howard Taft, polling the largest percentage of the popular vote ever won by a third-party candidate in U.S. history. His popularity extended beyond politics, for he was admired as a celebrity who stood for cherished beliefs and as an intellectual who reinterpreted the nation's past. From the 1880s, he wrote for popular magazines, from the Ladies' Home Journal to Youth's Companion, telling tales of his own adventures and giving advice on how people should conduct their lives. His readers were entertained and instructed by his articles about manly sports, proper family relations, who should go west, and good books to read on safari, all of which made him a highly paid and sought-after writer. When the Boy Scouts looked for the perfect role model to present to their young recruits, Theodore Roosevelt came to mind. Clearly, large segments of the public found him believable as a cultural authority. In 1913, when American Magazine took a poll to find out who was the greatest man in the United States, TR won hands down.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.